and good day. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz from eTurboNews, and this is a breaking news update. For more news updates and shows, please go to youtube.com/travel news group. youtube.com/travel news group. Here's our update.
International visitors spent $10.1 billion in the USA in March. Data recently released by the U.S. National Travel and Tourism Office (NTTO) show that in March 2022, international visitors spent $10.1 billion on travel to, and tourism-related activities within, the United States, an increase of 90% compared to March 2021. Americans spent $9.2 billion traveling abroad, yielding a balance of trade surplus of $894 million for the month, the fifth consecutive month during which the United States enjoyed a balance of trade surplus for travel and tourism. The increase in travel spending accounted for the overwhelming majority, 75%, of the year-over-year increase in U.S. travel exports in March 2022, followed by passenger fare receipts, 21%, and medical, education, short-term and seasonal worker spending, 4%. Composition of monthly spending, travel exports. Travel receipts. Purchases of travel and tourism-related goods and services by international visitors traveling in the United States totaled $5 billion in March 2022, compared to $1.4 billion in March 2021, an increase of 251% when compared to the previous year. For a pre-pandemic perspective, travel receipts totaled $12.1 billion in March 2019. These goods and services include food, lodging, recreation, gifts, entertainment, local transportation in the United States, and other items incidental to foreign travel. Travel receipts accounted for 50% of total U.S. travel and tourism exports in March 2022. Passenger fare receipts. Fares received by U.S. carriers from international visitors totaled nearly $1.7 billion in March 2022, compared to $662 million in March 2021, an increase of 153% when compared to the previous year. For a pre-pandemic perspective, the United States exported nearly $3.3 billion in passenger air transportation services in March 2019. These receipts are expenditures by foreign residents on international flights of U.S. air carriers. Passenger fare receipts accounted for 17% of total U.S. travel and tourism exports in March 2022. Medical, education, short-term worker spending. Expenditures for educational and health-related tourism, along with all expenditures by border, seasonal, and other short-term workers in the United States totaled $3.4 billion in March 2022, compared to $3.2 billion in March 2021, an increase of 6% when compared to the previous year. For a pre-pandemic perspective, this spending totaled $4.9 billion in March 2019. Medical, tourism, education, and short-term worker expenditures accounted for 34% of total U.S. travel and tourism exports in March 2022.
Thank you for listening to our news update. There's more on youtube.com/travel news group, or you can read us, of course, in going to our news portal at eTurboNews.com or travelnews.online.